Hey guys, how is everybody today? I wanted to say good morning. Rebecca's unable to make it. She's not feeling too well today. So, and Jamie just texted me and told me that she has no electric, so she doesn't have any internet. So it's going to be a very private group today, apparently. I don't have a co-hoster and I don't have a wrench. How is everybody doing though? Rain coming to your area today, Leslie? Shorty Pie, how you doing? How you doing, Paige? I'm giving you your thing. Hang on. I made them marrow bones to keep them busy while I'm working here. Here you go, Bubble. There's your marrow bone, Milo. Take it. Okay, I guess that one's Danny's. Here, this one's Milo's. Here you go, Milo. All right. Milo, please don't put the shit on the new carpet. Guys, come on. Come on, man. Work with me, not against me. Go with the flow. Don't pull. Push. It's easier to push than pull. Does everybody know that song by Sammy Hagar? Give to Live by Sammy Hagar? I'll be right there, guys. I'm trying to get something in the garbage now. You guys are eating the marrow bones. All over the new carpet. Okay, well, that's what I get for having dogs. I wouldn't have it any other way. All right, so who's this? Yeah, I think I got the message. Anyway, guys, let me ask you a question. Is there anybody that has a story that they want to share? Anybody have a story that they want to share? Hi, Kathleen, Venna, Jelly the best, Paige, Edie Cook. How you doing, Edie? Shorty Pie, Poppy Red Mustang. It's a rainy night in Georgia. Good morning. Your church yesterday was wonderful. Looking for the next one. Me too. Me too. I had a good time. I really did. I enjoyed it. So Rebecca's not here, Jay. Rebecca's ill. She texted me earlier and told me to tell everybody hello. But I would assume that if she's awake, she's going to be listening. I like the church too. Yeah, I want to continue the church too. That's important. Absolutely important. Yeah, it was nice. I enjoyed that. Darcy, Missouri. Oh, Darcy from Missouri. Got people from Utah. Rainy in Utah. It doesn't rain much in Utah, does it? It doesn't rain much in Utah. Not that I'm aware of. My guys are chewing up these marrow bones, I'll tell you that. It's cold here. We had a frost, have a little bit of a frost on the ground. I'm not going to lie to you. It's about 39 degrees outside, so it's a wee bit chilly. I'm going to tell you the truth. I look like shit, so I'm not going to show my face today because I had to wear one of those hats that look like the ones that they have in Russia, you know, with the fur and stuff. So, yeah. Well, Kathleen, I saw that. I saw in the comments. Hopefully you got to see some of the church. F. Bree Lie, it's okay. It's okay you're here. Gutter Snipe, hey. Karen, Lisa, hey. So, again, Jamie has no electric this morning, and Rebecca's not feeling 100% well. So it's just us. Does anybody have a story that they want to share? Anybody have something going on that they want to talk about? What? Toddie, what's good, sis? Blah, blah. You are, I'm not. Oh, Toddie, one skip. I am, you're not. Good morning. My dog heard the word bones and got excited. Bones. Pixie. Oh, that's the other channel. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, so it's been a little chilly here in New York. Good, Kathleen. I'm glad you watched the replay. Rebecca's probably listening in. She doesn't feel well. She can't talk. So she's not here speaking. She's not here as far as I know, but I would assume that she's listening. I mean, why wouldn't she be? I hope she's okay too. There's a lot of people that are sick right now. My handyman, who was supposed to help me put the insulation around, the skirting, he was supposed to help me with that. He's been sick for a couple days now. People are saying, get well, Rebecca, in case you're just laying there listening, Rebecca. Milo says, give me my bone, Danny. That's not what happened. Hey, mister, cool it, calm down, cool it. That's hers, that's yours, that's yours, that's yours, He's gonna drive her crazy. I miss Rebecca too. I miss her too. Spikes girl. So guys, anybody got a story to tell? And oh, that's awful. I couldn't speak a few weeks ago. I hope she gets rest and lozenges and soup and tea. I hope she does too, Janae. I remember, yeah, you were supposed to speak last time and you got sick and you ended up speaking the next time. So yeah, I remember that. I don't have much to say, but I'd like to keep us going here. People showing up more than 8 minutes. I want to, what does that say? I want to know your thoughts on the Prince Andrew debacle, to be honest. I'd like to speak on that. But this isn't the place to speak on that, is it? Is it really the place to speak on that? I mean, I think that those girls were drugs and obviously, taken around when they shouldn't have been taken around. And I'm not convinced Virginia unalived herself, because didn't she talk about if she ever were to do that, it wouldn't have been her choice? So, I mean, there's a lot in that we could break down and talk about. I thank God for waking me up this morning too. I do. I really do. And my dogs are doing good. Danny's doing wonderful. Absolutely. He lost all of his titles except Prince, right? He lost his Royal Majesty. I think I'm not sure how the Prince thing works, if it's familial or if it's I'm not, from that country, so I don't know if he's just a prince because he was born to the queen or not. If that's the reason why he has the title, because he was born to the queen, he was born to the queen. That doesn't change anything. That's my feeling about that. I enjoyed church too. Toddie, this is, by the way, the Aussie one. Okay, very cool. Very, very cool. Oh, okay, SB, the girl with the glow. Okay, I hope I remember that. And it's a birth title. So if it's a birth title, then how do you take that back? He was born to the queen. But yeah, church was good. I'm sorry you were in the hospital. Oh, I hope. What did she have? Did she have Lyme? I'm not trying to be funny. They thought I had a stroke and I had Lyme disease. Yep. Yep. I don't know where you saw those, but she doesn't keep them shy, does she? Yeah, if that's his birthright, that's his birthright. He needs to leave premises and pay his bills, Prince Andrew. He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. He has family. It's not going to let that happen. They didn't let the one that left and moved with Wallace Simpson. They were paying his bills. So I don't think that they should remove it. If he could be the disgrace prince, but if it's a birthright, I mean, you don't. We'll wait and see what happens there. But I definitely think that Virginia Giuffre didn't unalive herself, just like I don't think Epstein unalived himself. All this stuff, it's coming out. Has anybody read the book? Oh, I like the royalty stuff. I don't like this stuff. If it came in any family, I wouldn't like it. But I like the pomp and I like the posh and all that stuff. I like it. Why not? I loved the Queen. I loved the Queen. I think going through a lot right now. My opinion thinks she was having a panic attack, but they're treating her for high blood pressure. Okay. They should check her for Lyme. Seriously. Oh, you're listening to the book from Virginia G. Free? What do you do to wind down? I listen to some music and pet my dogs or go for a long walk with the dogs. I like that. Good luck with that, my friend. But congratulations, you're gonna start feeling better. I promise. What's the matter, Milo? What's that about? What are you thinking about, sir? Since to single out one person in royalty for disgracing name with kidda. Exactly. Has anybody tried? Jamie turned me on to what's the water she's got me drinking now? It's hang on, let me get it. I forgot it. Liquid Death. Liquid Death. Has anybody had this water out of the can? It's mountain water. I get the non-flavored. It is so good. Like, it really tastes really good. It's so refreshing. It's absolutely amazing water. It quenches your thirst. I'm glad, Gutter Snipe. I'm glad being here matters. It's important to show up. You know? I'm sorry, I'm looking for the thing that goes on the can. The thing that goes on the can for my water. So that it covers it up and I could drink out of it. Ooh, this one's got a hole in it. That's why that, not a hole, but that's why that one doesn't work too well, because it's broken. Yeah, Danny broke it. Say I did not, Mom. Hey, Danny, you got to move so I can get in front of here. Danny, move thy tushy. Danny, Banani, move. Thank you. All right, let's go. My hash browns are done. Woo, sizzle pop, babe. Sizzle pop. Sizzle pop. So, tell me, children, what's been going on? Getting some Milo, you got to let me in here, buddy. These guys are like all over the place. Love being here with you. All wish you a great week. Our safe place. It is our safe place. Does anybody have anything that they want to share? Anybody have a story that they want to tell? I'm serious. You guys are great. It's 12:15 a.m. Wow, that's right. Don't blame Danny. Well, it's Danny's fault. Danny, telling me to leave you alone. I'm on some of glue time. Oh wow. I mean, Mary Queen of Scotland. I'm really not familiar, but I'll tell you what. Raining in North Carolina. It's supposed to rain here on Thursday, so we're gonna get that. We're gonna get that stuff. We're gonna get that stuff. How do I send you a private message? Toddie1skip@gmail.com. You guys know my email. I always write back. I bet you there's nobody here that's written to me that I haven't written back to. Might take me a minute, but I get there. I do. I do. I'm a little bit chilly. It's terrible. That's absolutely, absolutely horrific. Absolutely horrific. Absolutely. I'm on a little island off the Great Land down under. Oh, very cool. So you're in New Zealand? This week a cold front is coming, they say. Man, it's cold out there right now. It's like, I'm telling you, it was like 39. Milo, what are you doing? Hey, man. I've been really worried about the impact on health care in your country. That's why I don't want to stay in my country. Is Britney Spears going to die? I don't have a magic 8 ball, but I did want to talk about that. You guys want to talk about Britney? Let me tell you how I feel about Britney. So all this new stuff has come out. I don't have a clue about the government stuff. The impacts to government shutting down is impacting my deductible with my insurance. There is no doubt in my mind. I currently don't have insurance and the government buildings are shut down. So I feel you, man. I totally feel you. All right. So my email address. There's my email address. Who is that? Oh, Britney. So here's the way I feel about Britney Spears. I'm just going to say the way I feel. I feel like here's a woman who missed out on raising her boys, and I'm not sure that she deserved that. Like now they're too old. Like, but she totally missed out on raising her 2 children. But she was good enough to get up on stage every night and keep her residency in Las Vegas. That doesn't make any sense to me. I think she wanted to be a mom. She kept screaming that she wanted to be a mom. But then I heard things like she would stand in the doorway with a KNIFE in the doorway and watch them sleep. So what do you think about that? Exactly. It is the same person behind the conservatorship for both. And didn't she have something to do? I thought she had something to do with the Johnny Depp thing, or there was another conservatorship she was trying to get with a male, I thought. She missed out on her own childhood. Her dad's an alcoholic. I don't think she was on a lot of drugs. I think that came, first of all, when we watched her and Justin break up. Now I'm older, mind you. I'm much older. But I remember, the golden couple and stuff. And I thought, yeah, there's something wrong. I never liked him. I thought he was talented, but I never liked him. I always thought there was something that I just didn't like about Justin. And come to find out, he was the cheater in that relationship, I believe. You know what I'm saying? And I do think Britney was used by her family. Yep, that's what one of the claims is. I wanted to do something about, I did want to talk about this because here's a girl, and I'm going to say girl just because, she's just so much younger than me. And I do remember her childhood, and I do remember how she was actualized and all of that. All of that. And I do feel like her parents more than failed her. I think that they took advantage of her, that she should have been able to get the help she needed, not to go on and do a residency every night, but to be able to be a mother to her children, because she can't get that back. But she is somebody, when you see the dancing, you know, some of that dancing I thought was inappropriate and classless. I'll just say that. That's a taste. I don't think it's criminal. But to me, how do you take yourself from a Las Vegas residency to pole dancing erotically in front of, you know, TikTok when you have children that are telling you, oh, that's kind of not the way I want my friends to see my mom. So it's a horrible situation. It's a horrible situation. I don't know about the, you know, listen, you got, there's some Disney kids that ended up okay. Dan Schneider, that's Jamie though, right? Yeah, Jamie. Yeah, Dan Schneider was, yeah, bad news. That's true. But that's what Kevin said. So Kevin, you know, is he somebody with any kind of real integrity? You got to remember he left his pregnant wife or pregnant girlfriend to be with Britney. And then if you remember that whole thing, he wasn't really there for her as much as he was there to help himself with a career that supposedly he had with some famous singers that nobody could find any of the high Stacia, where nobody could find any of the background dancing movies to. You know what I'm saying? Uh, anybody? Anybody got anything to share about that? He started writing his book 12 months ago, which coincides with the end of Britney's payments to him. Isn't that why he ended up in Hawaii? Because the payments for child support lasted longer in Hawaii? That's what I heard. Is that not true? Tell me true, guys. Tell me true. I'm getting my hash brown out of the oven. Let me walk across my little mansion here. Those that don't know, I live in 33 feet of tin. I'm a tin man. I'm a tin man. I'm a man of tin. I'm a tin man. What's up, Mizey? Or is that Danny? I think that's Danny. I hear Danny to the left of me. Joker's to the right. Here I am. This is my home front. So I gotta tell you that my dog Danny, since she's been off of her medication, my little potato chip and dip, she's doing 1,000,000% better. She's got a hell of an appetite. She likes to play in the morning. Who'd have thought? I thought she was a boring dog. Not my Danny. Danny is filled with life and energy. She's doing great. She's on, she's only getting her Prozac every 2 days now. And then she won't be getting it at all. Right, Danny? Her eyes are open. She's beautiful. She's a happy girl. So tell me something good, Danny. Tell me something good. Let me see the chat. I had to walk over there. He was in you got he was in you got served, huh? Yeah. Wait a minute. Let me see what I'm reading. Never heard of that. Are you talking about K-Fed? Wait a minute. Kevin was big weirdo on Celebrity Fat Camp. Yeah, but just so you know, he really was. He was a dancer. He supposedly was a stage dancer, a background dancer for people like Madonna and somebody else, but they couldn't. That's what he supposedly did. If you look up, that's what he supposedly did. And then after they broke up, he gained all that weight. But he was a rapper when he was with her because she supported that shit and he sucked. Remember, I don't like rap, but he sucked. And then he ends up with the kids, child support, a new family, loses a bunch of weight, moves to Hawaii. What do you think of those apples there? Oranges, peaches, pears, and bananas. Yeah, I was talking about K-Fed. You never heard of that? You never heard? Come on, seriously, go check it out. I wouldn't lie to you. I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you the truth. Oh, I didn't know he was in You Got Served. Supposedly, but I don't know that he did. Like, nobody could show any of that. Biggest Loser, no doubt. He did a commercial for I think Domino's Pizza or something. Football for the Super Bowl one year. You know, here's the thing though. I don't know how he is as a dad. I mean, a good dad doesn't separate the kids from their mom, and a good dad doesn't make the mom seem worse so that the kids, they don't exploit a sick mom. This guy's got 6 kids and he seems to have a decent relationship with his children. Of course, he gets paid for having that relationship. So I don't know if he's really a good dad or if he's just a really good employee paid dad. That's too bad. You know, well, I don't know what her kids do. I don't know if, here's the thing. Jelly the best. Okay. Let's say she needs help. All right. Why in the world didn't they give her the therapy or give her the help as much as they gave her the practice time and the residency for the Las Vegas show? Why not give her the help that she needed so that then she could be whole, get her kids back, and figure out what she wants to do with her career? What about that? Everything about Kevin Federline has to do with money, in my opinion. He lives one actress for a superstar. He was with Shar Jackson. Shar Jackson was in Moesha when he was supposedly a background dancer. He was a Mr. Mom. She was the actress. Leaves her pregnant and is with Britney. Has 2 kids with Britney. She ends it with him. He ends up with the kids, coinkadinkly, so that she could go on stage and perform, not have to be a mom. He gets paid this astronomical amount of money, alimony as well as child support, no doubt. And then when child support's ready to end, he moves to Hawaii where child support lasts longer. And then when that's ready to end, what happens? Oh, yeah, wait a minute. What happens? Oh, now he's going to write a book. It's all in the timing. You know, that's what they used her. That's my feeling. I feel like if there was something wrong with her in the way that they're saying, then they needed to be better parents and be better partners. And instead of getting her on stage, they needed to get her help. You know? What do you guys think? He is going to write a book. He wrote a book. We don't remember, but when Britney was first a mom, she seemed genuinely happy and was so, right? As a matter of fact, she called one of those boys Sean Preston, and the other one was Nico, or what was the other one? They had a different name than they go by now. Oh, I think the book's out, but I didn't read it. Somebody in the chat is listening to it, right? I thought somebody in the chat said Jaden. But it was Sean Preston, right? Now they only call him Preston, I think. All right. Good morning, Shay Shay. Shay Shay. I think the book is out. He was just on Piers Morgan, I say. Right? I think he was on Piers Morgan. You want to check it out? The book is out. I was stood up by two people this morning. You guys want to check out the Piers Morgan interview with him? See if we can do that. Okay, on this channel, I'm going to get commercials just like you guys, just so you know. So be prepared for that. I'm poor right now. I have to pay for StreamYard. That's expensive. All right, let me see what I can do here for us. What? Yeah, I bet you. I bet you, Janae. I bet you. All right, let's try to get it. Share screen. Hang on. That's my thing. Hold on. Hang on, guys. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Oh, this is studio. That's why. Okay, hang on. All right, let's see what we can do. All right, let's see what we can do, guys.
Show people that help is
I have
needed
to step
now
all over this.
because
I just want
time
you to know.
is running out. I don't want my kids waking up having to deal with the unimaginable.
Why just now? Like, why just now is he thinking, I got to slam all over this, guys, and I'm sorry, and I got to pay attention to this screen. So work with me, guys, please.
But ultimately, he went to the courts and he got exactly what he deserved. The proof speaks for itself with the kids actually wanting to be with him and are actually troubled when they're around their mom.
If there is one thing that you can unite every nation.
Let me tell you something. I do believe that parents absolutely change the narrative of situations when it comes to other parents. Like, I remember sticking up for my mom when I was with my dad, and I remember sticking up for my dad when I was with my mom, because they had so much disdain for each other. Let's keep going.
It is the fact that Kevin Federline has always been a greedy bastard. If this were actually about him caring about Britney Spears, then why is he writing in his book about her alleged lesbian hookup?
That's a point. 2 points for him. Let's get you guys up here on the showing comments on here. That's true. You guys want to do this? Tell me. I have to keep going back and forth in the chat and stuff because I'm going to be on like another screen. Are you guys good? Talk to me. Talk to me because I want to know if you're there. I don't have a wrench and I'm all alone and I don't care. I think just now because the money train is gone, but I do think there's part of him that's concerned. Well, he has children. I believe he's concerned. I just believe he's in it for the money too. All good from you? Okay. Well, I think you're the only one with me, Spikes Girl 1983. Like, if I give you $25,000 a month, say you want to live with your dad. Okay. Give me $25,000 a month. Dad, come back. That's sad, Toddie. I'm sorry. I know the feeling. My bio parents were the same way. Yeah, things are, I mean, come on. My mom and dad got along fine before my dad passed away. You know what I'm saying? And I learned what not to do. There's, you learn what to do from people. You learn what not to do from people. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Britney wanted to get some nookie. Britney deserved to get some nookie.
I think he is basically
Why are we talking about this? Why is this our business?
one of the leeches that he's accusing have taken advantage of her in her life. Well, you're writing a book about her. You're revealing the fact that she apparently had a lesbian affair. You are one of those people that are exploiting her. He's going to gain nothing from this book.
He's going to get money from the book. That's what he's going to get. And his credibility is shot anyway. How many of you guys, seriously, let me ask you a question. How many of you guys think he's going to look any worse? I mean, or that he really gives a shit? I'm asking. Seriously. I think his credibility is already shot to hell with the person he is. What do you think? Yeah, isn't that horrible when people say that stuff? Lila, ooh, I don't know. Lil Agnor. Okay. I forgot he existed and will do again. There you go. Spikes Girl said it perfectly. Cool beans. Let's keep going. You want to keep going? Listen, I can't keep switching over because, okay, Kathleen, man, I should have thrown you a wrench. I can't get you a wrench now. It's too late. Do you want a wrench? Do you know what to do with a wrench? Would you be good with a wrench? Edie, would you be good with a wrench? Do you know what to do with a wrench? Guys, tell me, can you email me and let me know if you guys want a wrench? Edie and Aunt Edna, let me know. All right, let's keep going over here. Let's keep going.
A quarter of a century on from her first global hit, Britney Spears remains one of the most talked about celebrities in the world and one of the biggest stars of her generation. It's into that maelstrom that her ex-husband Kevin Federline steps with his controversial new memoir, You Thought You Knew.
You thought you knew.
K-Fed, as he was known, says he's releasing the book because it's time to set the record straight after years of the media, blogs, strangers, and exes telling his story for him, as he puts it. Some critics have a different take. One reviewer called it a vapid memoir, which is just another means to kick Britney while she's down. Well, we'll debate that in true uncensored style shortly. We'll begin by hearing from the man himself. Kevin Federline joins me now.
I'm sorry, guys, man. The water went the wrong way. I promise. It was just the water. And I'm on the other screen, so I can't. I'm sorry. Hang on. All right. This guy, he dressed for the occasion. He looks good, doesn't he? Let's admit he looks good. He's got some British stuff going on here. It looks like.
No, Kevin, welcome to Uncensored.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, let's try and cut through all the crap around the release of the book and all the stuff, good, bad, and ugly that's been said about it. Tell me in your own words why you wrote the book.
Well, I feel like, I've stayed silent for 20 years trying to do right.
How silent have you been? Or how about because I needed the money? I mean, like, has he really been silent? I think that he was silent in the sense that the parents had silenced him, and that's how he got with the kids. That's how he got the kids. How many of you guys agree with that? How many of you guys agree with that? Yeah, sorry about that, Sarah. Have a good one. Any of you agree with that, or that maybe he got the kids and he had to keep quiet for that reason and he wasn't allowed to do a book? Anybody? Who's there? Bye, Shorty Pie. For his kids, blah, blah, blah. Is that what you think? Or do you think it was for the money? I mean, you might be right, Toddie. I think so. Okay. All right. Let's go back to, you guys put what you think too. I mean, I think he loves his kids, don't get me wrong, but I think he's extorting Gypsy. Oh my God. Britney. Sorry.
Right as a father and raise my children outside of the spotlight or Hollywood, whatever you want to call it. While so many others have told my story.
Let me ask you a question. If he would have made it as a rap star, would he have been in Hollywood? Is he saying this because he failed at everything? Because everything about him was wanting to be a Hollywood superstar. He even tried dating. I don't know if you guys remember Firecrotch. He called Lindsay Lohan. Remember that shit? And then Paris Hilton and all these people. Nicole Richie. That was the group that really didn't want anything to do with him. So that's messed up. Remember that?
I feel like my story's been told through a different lens, and now finally
So in other words, he would have stayed in Hollywood had he have not failed at it.
I'm ready to tell my truth.
For those who don't know the background to this, you dated Britney for 3 months. You then got married in July 2004. You had 2 sons between you in September 2005 and then September the following year. And you had pretty much full custody of those boys going forward when the troubles set in. They're now at adult age. Was that part of your calculation too, to wait until they were adults themselves?
Absolutely. I wanted to make sure that my kids had a chance to grow and
See, but all of this wouldn't have been the case. Like, this would not have been the case. Yeah, he tried to date Lindsay Lohan and she called him Firecrotch, or he called her Firecrotch because he didn't want to date her. Like, they were hanging out and she blew him off. And he called her Firecrotch. It was all over like fucking tabloids. Remember that? But here's the thing, seriously. If this guy would have been successful, his story wouldn't have been about this. That's what I'm talking about. Like, he's so full of shit. That's just, he got paid to do this, I think so.
and really, give them a chance at a normal life, right? As much as I possibly could, which obviously it was very difficult. And through the book, you'll find, all of the stories that led us up to this point. Yeah, I mean, I was just a struggling father trying to give my kids a normal life.
That's not fair. I don't think that's fair at all. He wasn't a struggling dad. Let's be honest. How many people in the back? Can I see your hands, please? Pixie, can I see your hands, please? How many people believe that he was really a struggling dad? Remember that? Yeah, Firecrotch. Okay, so we're going through some nostalgic. I hope that Rebecca is laying there laughing with us, but not choking. But like, I needed a co-host, so I got Kevin Federline. What do you want from me, Rebecca? All right, let's have some fun with this. I don't trust him either. I think he loves his children, but I don't think. Thank you, Renelle. I don't think that. I don't think that he would have done it for free. You know what I'm saying? Because it didn't seem like he was willing to do it for free. When Shar, they already had a child. They already had a daughter. Him and Shar Jackson had a daughter. She was pregnant with her son. I think his name is Corey. And then Britney, she married him so come on, this is true. The girl with the glow, do you think I'm lying to you? You think I'm telling you the truth? Do you think he's lying? Is that what's going on here? Let's watch more.
It's been, I think, fair to say that you've been viewed as the bad guy in this for a long time in terms of relationship with Britney. I want to play a clip. This is from The View, the day after your divorce was announced.
Britney Spears is leaving K-State!
And guys, I want you to remember that when he got divorced, when she said, she texted him. Supposedly he was going on a show, like a radio show, and she texted him. I don't think it was texting. Was it texting or was it was a pager? Somehow, yeah. She texted him that she wanted a divorce. Look at all these people were happy because they were getting a divorce, but had they have known what would have happened after that, I think that I think, here's a theory. What if she just wanted to get divorced and wanted to raise her kids by herself and get away from the limelight? What if that was her story? Because she was responsible for so many people's livelihoods that they couldn't afford her to do that. I mean, wasn't this about the time that Jamie Lynn got pregnant? So she was no longer going to be that person. So what about that? What's your guys' theory on that? What do you think? I agree. I wish I could have struggled out because I think he was on Piers. Yeah, we're gonna watch it. Well, we're watching it, right? I'm watching the Piers Morgan. I know Rosie O'Donnell. She's actually very nice. I'm interviewing her for the Prison Network next week. Very cool. Very cool. She's in Ireland. I believe she's in Ireland. Okay, let's go.
No, I don't know you. I've never met Britney, but I've got to say, I found that a pretty ugly spectacle. I don't think you'd see anything like that airing on American television now without them all getting fired. The kind of gleeful response to the breakdown of a relationship and a divorce, whatever the background, whatever was circulating in the media, that seemed to me actually pretty cruel. If you're you watching that, that's a pretty cruel thing to watch. What do you feel watching it back just now?
Yeah, it hurts. I'm not going to lie to you. It hurts. And, you know, I honestly think that even had to have hurt her, right? Because you're talking about a family being split, and that's not easy in itself. And to have that celebrated at a time where clearly she's spiraling, I fell into depression, and people were celebrating that. I mean, it's disgusting.
What is your view of the host?
Well, that's not exactly what people were celebrating. People were celebrating you being a leech and you being bad news for her, which I'm not too sure wasn't true, sir. It just manifested differently. Well, it started that way, but it turned into something totally different because the scenario changed. You didn't expect her to divorce you. You counted on your charm.
Of the View for what they did that day?
Well, I don't watch them, I'll tell you that.
I mean, the cast has changed significantly since then, but it's pretty shocking watching it, I have to say. I've done The View a few times, but it's pretty shocking to watch that actually go out. This was 20 years ago.
Right. I mean, and that's it. It's like my life being told through a different lens has led to that, to all of that. And people feel like, and I think that by me staying silent, it also did the same thing, right? I think that people felt, they had the right to go and say whatever they want because they knew that I wasn't going to come out and speak up for myself.
I mean, it's interesting to see the ringleader there was Rosie O'Donnell, who's now the lead attack dog against Donald Trump, has even left the country. So she can attack him, I think, from Ireland, where she now lives.
So let me ask you a question. I'm not trying to pick on you. I see this. And usually when I'm on the other screen, I can't see it. So apologies if that happens. I'm not saying that this is okay. You know that, right? I'm not saying that somebody shouldn't be supervising her with her children, but that's not what happened. What happened was they thought she was good enough to get up on stage and do a residency in Las Vegas. And they invested the time and energy into doing that instead of investing the time, energy, and money into getting her well so that maybe she could enjoy some of the kids' childhood with her. That's what I'm saying. So, and I do believe that he extorted, but I think the parents helped with that. Yeah, I believe it, right? I'm not sure depression. He might have been, concerned about how he was going to live, but I don't think he was starving. He might have been worried a little bit about his reputation and his album sucking, but it wasn't about where he was going to get his next meal, pardon the pun. In the South, and too, a lot of people drove with their kids in their laps. Yeah, but it's not okay. But you're not. We still had the law. And you put your kid in a seatbelt. Yeah, no, absolutely. And listen, nobody liked him, to be honest with you. Nobody liked him. He had no history. He was. I just got done telling you he was a philanderer. So I mean, what was there to like about him? You know what I'm saying? See, this is the other side to it. This is the other side to it. They probably told her, do this residency to pay for your kids you lost. Yeah, see, we don't know how she was broken or anything like that. Let's go onward. This is interesting because, I mean, obviously, I think there's something going on with Britney now. Maybe she's just gone in the mind and there is no drugs going on with her. Maybe she is that fucking broken. I don't know. I don't know. Sad though.
But this is somebody who purports herself to be the kind, empathetic one, and Trump's the monster that has to be trashed all the time. When I watch her behavior that day towards you, again, I don't know you, but whatever had led up to that, the way she did that was like a circus ringleader, circus master, basically unleashing the dogs on you through a television.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's horrible, right? It feels horrible being judged by somebody that doesn't even know me. But I mean, really, if you want to judge me, look at what I've done as a father. Judge me off of my children. None of my children have been in trouble with the law. None of my children have been addicted to drugs. All of my children, every single one of them, and I have 6, are really good human beings with a good head on their shoulders, and they're all falling into their own. They know who they are. They know their identity. And that, if you want to judge me on that.
Well,
okay, so that's a fair statement, I got to say. That's a fair statement, except for one thing. The one thing is this started, he cheated on his wife, or I don't know if they were married, Shar Jackson, who was pregnant. So is that a good dad? He didn't have relationship with his kids when he was cheating. Now, that's not true. They weren't the priority. Otherwise, you just don't do that shit. But his kids used to come and spend time. I saw pictures of Britney with his other 2 kids from Shar Jackson. And she seemed to really like his children. But he had all the money in the world. He didn't really struggle as a dad. How do you struggle as a dad when you have another partner? He's married again. They have more kids. And he has nannies and shit. Like, how do you struggle? How do you struggle? I mean, is that struggling? All of your kids are good. That's great. And I'm sure that your kids got the therapy that they needed, unlike the average bear out here who's struggling to get therapy. Right? Britney's kids have to be broken a little bit because of their mom. Is that, come on. I don't know if he cheated on all of them. But he's a good dad because he's been able to afford the luxury of being a good dad and getting paid for being a good dad. Half the dads out there that want to be good dads, they have to pay for it.
I've seen the reaction about you as a father, and it's generally positive. People, whether they love you or hate you, they all concede you've been a good father. And certainly taking custody of your 2 boys when Britney was clearly unable to be a proper parent, that's very laudable, right? I give you credit for that. I guess the flip side of all this is that that from 2008 to 2021, Britney was put under a conservatorship, a legal arrangement, allowed her father to manage her financial affairs. And the reason for that was that she was clearly, and we see this to this day, I don't know her, but I see the videos she puts out. I see some of the stuff that circulates around Britney. This is a mentally unstable woman.
Yeah, but who said she was at the time? And again, he's not somebody to talk peers. Sometimes I like him, sometimes I don't. It's kind of like the Almond Joy and the Mounds Bar. I know she paid for all of his kids and the wife he has now and his ex-wife or the other woman. I absolutely so. And I agree with that too. I'm not saying he's not a good dad, but a great dad wouldn't exactly. And look at all the money it's cost. I mean, seriously. And why put the book out there? Why are you going to put the book out there? Isn't that for more money? How is that helping? How is the book helping? You could write a book and tell your story. It doesn't make you feel better when other people read it like that. Not when it's about her. Nobody would give a shit about this man's book if it had nothing to do with Britney. And they want to read it because of the dirt on Britney. Not because of him, but because of the dirt on Britney. Hands, am I right, Hands?
She was then, she was during, she is now. That is why she didn't have the custody of your kids. You know this better than anybody. Right. And you've written a book, which is, you're entitled to write a book. Let me just say that. You're entitled to have your say. But knowing her mental state, knowing how fragile she clearly is, I see these videos she puts out herself dancing, and honestly, they're tragic. They're tragic things to watch. It is a woman who was the biggest pop star on the planet who is clearly continuing to battle a lot of mental health issues. And it's sad to watch, and we all feel that, I'm sure, when we see these videos. But you've written a book, you blame her for being a narcissist for her own behavior. You just say that she has nobody there that truly cares for. I'm sure that's right. You say that, you talk about her mental issues. You talk about her being taken to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in LA and placed under psychiatric hold, the toughest night of your life. You talk about the impact on your kids. You do all this stuff. And I'm just thinking, as I'm reading all this, because it's graphically told, wow, how does this help Britney Spears? How does this not actually
That's a question.
Have an even more damaging effect on an already damaged woman?
Right there.
To have the intimate details of the breakdown of your relationship, the breakdown of her mental health, laid bare now in a book, and you going on a big media tour talking about all this. She has said she's had enough writing. She put a comment out on her Instagram. The constant gaslighting.
So, guys, we just asked, how does that help? So let's check it out. And here's her response, right? I got to stop it, guys, for copyright.
From my ex-husband is extremely hurtful and exhausting. She says she's felt demoralized about the fractured relationship with your boys. I've always pleaded and screamed to have a life with my boys. She says she's only seen one of her sons for 45 minutes in the past 5 years. So quite a cry from the heart.
Now, you don't think those kids have been poisoned from her? Been told to be afraid of her? When you start telling children stuff and you start telling them about memories that they don't remember, they start remembering them as if they're their own memories. You can tell a kid something. I have older siblings, and they'll talk about stuff clearly I don't remember. I mean, clearly, or I might not even have been born, right? But they'll talk about shit, and I'm like, I remember it because I heard the story so many times over. I have a picture of it in my head. In the meantime, I wasn't there. So that can happen, and that's what might have happened with these children. What do you guys think of that theory? What do you guys think? What do you guys think of that theory? A good dad would have let his kids exactly. 1000% correct. Do I have anybody here with me? Anybody? 100%. Okay. I'm wondering if there's going to be repercussions for telling of the children's story to exploit them. How will the kids feel? Right now, the kids feel no obligation to their mom, apparently. None. Exactly what you do is you have your own memory.
Up there. And I guess my question for you, Kevin, is you've been a good father. You've brought these kids up well. They've obviously relied on that. They couldn't rely on their mother. But you know how damaged Britney is. Why would you deliberately seek to pour fuel on the flames of her mental illness?
Why?
That you have with this
Why,
book?
Kevin?
Gold is up by more than 40% in value.
I don't care about that.
And today's sponsor, Birch Gold, is marking Veterans Day with a tantalizing offer. Buy gold, get
I
free
can't
silver
move.
for every $5,000 purchase from Birch Gold this month. They wait. Do it today.
So there's quite a few reasons, right? For one, my family and I are tired of living the lie. For two, I want my sons and my family to be able to go out and live their lives out.
This is bullshit. This is bullshit. Such shit. Sick of living the lie. What lie? We think she's sick. So what lie?
Out from under all of this, and get out of the shadow of this. And a major part of why I'm doing this is because we have tried everything else, and I see no other way to try and get her help. I mean, everybody's been alienated from the situation. So once we've done everything, this is like my last final straw of trying to plead for help and support for my sons to, get her to a place where it's better. And I understand that this hurts and the truth hurts and all of that. And that is not what I want. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I'm trying to put a perspective on it and show people that help is needed now because time is running out.
Why did he need a book for that? They've been saying that about Britney for a long time. You know how this would have been better? Let me tell you how it would have been better. if you'd have gotten somebody out there, could have even been him, Kevin, picture of his 2 kids behind him, and saying, listen, I don't really want a conservatorship. I don't want anything to do with any kind of money. My ex-wife needs help for the sake of my children, for the sake of our sons. I'm pleading with you to help me. How does this book is only going to mock her, in my opinion, and it's going to make him look bad. The kids are going to know shit they shouldn't have known about their parents. I don't buy this. How many buy this? How many of you guys believe this? And that would be horrible. And that would be horrible. I don't think the book is going to, how's the book help that? Exactly. Howard, how you doing? I don't believe that either. He almost couldn't say it with a straight face. I bet you he does have a life insurance policy. I agree. Okay, let's continue onward. Excuse me.
And when you say time is running out, what do you mean?
It's exactly what it sounds like. I don't want my kids waking up having to deal with the unimaginable.
Their mother might die.
Yes.
And
There's
that's
only 2 ways that this ends. 2 ways that this ends right now. We've seen it a million times with so many different people. And so
what are the
this
2
is a cry
Kevin,
for
just to
help.
be clear, what are the 2 ways?
Either you get help or you don't.
Do you talk to Britney at all?
I haven't spoken to her in years.
How many years?
I mean, at least 5, 6.
So when she says in this Instagram statement that she's only seen one of your sons for 45 minutes in the past 5 years, is that accurate?
No, that's not. Seen one of my sons. She saw one of my sons one day this year, and he decided not to go back over there because of what he saw.
Okay, so you see the problem there is that they're both saying, did he say, I know he said my son, but does she say my son or our son? Hold on, because they need to say our. It's a joint effort, man. Took both of you.
Oh, or you don't.
Do you talk to Britney at all?
So he's saying that she's got a drug problem here. You either get, what is it? Jails, institutions, or death, buddy. Jails, institutions, or death. That mantra.
I haven't spoken to her in years.
How many years?
I mean, at least 5, 6.
So when she says in this Instagram statement that she's only seen one of your sons for 45 minutes in the past 5 years, is that accurate?
No, that's not. Seen one of my sons. She saw one of my sons one day this year, and he decided not to go back over there because of what he saw.
Okay, so he says my son. That's a problem. That's a problem. It's not your son. Took both of you. Happened during conception. She was there. That's how it happened. Got your DNA going at the time.
The other one, Jaden, who's my younger son, is 19 now. He's been over there quite a few times over the past year, and he stopped seeing her in the last few months because of the situation. And they're terrified, and they're worried about their mom, and they don't know how.
They're worried about their mom, and they don't know how to what? So writing a book. Dad, can you write a book and tell mom secrets? Maybe that'll be enough. No, that won't push her over the edge. No, it'll be good for her. Come on, guys. Fucking be real. You might have, I bet you, yeah, and the kids would get the money.
How to help because of what all of this has cost.
Do you think the blaze of publicity around your book, though, is going to help, or could it be the trigger for the disastrous option that you've...
You know, Piers and I don't like the guy on certain things. I don't like him at all, but we're kind of thinking the same way. We got the same questions going.
Articulated.
I mean, I'm hoping that it helps.
Yeah, but on the off chance it doesn't, I'll be mighty rich and don't have to worry about anything for the rest of my life, nor will I have to deal with their parents.
This is a last cry.
There was this famous Free Britney movement. A lot of people felt that she was under a damaging control from her father. And in 2021, like I said, an LA judge ruled it was no longer required after fan pressure. You say in the book that this Free Britney movement, which was a push by fans and supporters to have the conservatorship.
You guys remember that? Free Britney. Popcorn Planet took off at that point. Remember that? They took off, and then they took off even more with the Johnny Depp shit. Do you guys watch Popcorn Planet? And Steph, the ultra nerd.
Terminated may have started from a good place, but it vilified people around Spears so intensely that now professionals with the ability to help your ex-wife may be too afraid to step in. Just explain that.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about, of how this situation that's been created to where nobody knows how to navigate this situation. I don't know that there's ever been any situation like this.
What do you mean? Whoa. Is she fucking alien? Pardon my language. She's somebody that you're claiming that has a drug problem or a mental illness or both, because that's not unique. And if you're talking about somebody that has all this shit, Charlie Sheen had all this shit. Robert Downey Jr. had all this shit. Unfortunately, Corey Haim had all this shit. I mean, I can keep mentioning celebrities if you'd like me to. Some have made it and some haven't. What's the difference, guys? In the chat, talk to me. Talk to me. Paige, see you later. The court system failed these kids. These parents should be in therapy as a family. Exactly. I agree with you, Janae. Thanks, Toddie. Enjoyed the topic. And hey, Howard, what do you mean you're a new man? Oh, Howard, you just joined. Thank you, Howard. I thought I was going to say you're a subscriber. You've been a subscriber. Thank you, Howard. That's really nice of you. I appreciate that. Kevin is just collecting a paycheck from the interviews. Yeah, but you know, it's more than the interviews. There's something in writing that's going to last forever and ever and ever. Her grandchildren will read it. Why does her grandchildren need to know this shit? How about she's sick? We didn't need to know all of her secrets to know that she's sick. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You would think that he would have reached out several times to try. I mean, if you have any kind of love, if you're there trying to say that you want to help, you know what I'm saying? I mean, when my parents couldn't stand each other, they still talked to each other about us, you know? And then again, before 20 years before my dad died, my mom and dad were friends again. We all went on holidays together. If she has a drug problem, then why want anything from her still? If she has a drug problem, why want the kids around her? Talking all that shit and it sounds stupid. Well, exactly. But here's the thing. Exactly. Why want the kids? So I agree. I think she probably does have a drug problem, but this isn't the way to help that situation. You know, please remember to hit the like button. Thank you so much, Howard. I appreciate you. They should have been in individual and family therapy. I agree. It's not okay for anybody to be that far gone, as you know. Absolutely. He can no longer get child support, and now he's got a new grift. And that's the problem. And it's at the expense of this woman who very well might be losing it now at this point. My parents were friends when it came to us children. I don't think that's the way it should be. How's that work for you, Zoe? Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Your parents were amazing for that. My dad just disappeared from my life and never came back. No, my dad, he was, and he was a good grandpa. He was a really, really good grandpa. My nieces and nephews really liked him very, very much. They loved him very much. So he is part of her downfall. And I think the kids are too, to be honest with you. You know that the kids put up that stuff at one point. I know they're kids, but even if Britney is not primary custodial parent, she had legal rights. They didn't give her anything. I think they fucking made her crazy. And now what she's supposed to do, I mean, like, the kids don't want to spend any time with her. How does she feel comfortable around her children that she doesn't even know? How do they feel comfortable around her just because that's their mom? I mean, they don't know her and she doesn't know them. It's horrific. Let's go on.
Lawyers, judges, anybody, they're afraid to touch it. I mean, it's such a hard thing, right? And that is another purpose of why I'm going about it this way, because there is no other way. And that has been created from that movement.
Do you talk to Britney's father at all?
Yes, I've spoken to all of her family members.
And do they share your concern about where things have reached?
Anybody that cares and truly cares about Britney is worried about her right now, yes.
Do you still love her, Kevin?
That doesn't answer the question. That doesn't answer that question. And Piers, you need to re-ask that question because that came back a bunch of fucking murky. You asked him, why don't you go back to, so do you speak to the family members? Which family members do you speak to? When was the last time you spoke about them? What's the basis of the conversation? Is it because they're the grandparents of the children? There was an issue with one of the kids and the grandfather. What happened with that? Piers isn't going to ask those questions. Come on, Piers.
I mean, yes, not in love with her, but I've always had love for her. She's the mother of my children. I don't want to see anything bad happen to her.
Yeah, he's laughing when he says it. Did you hear that?
Obviously, I want her to be able to share the type of relationship that I have with our kids.
If you wanted that, you wouldn't have done away with their childhood, dumbass. She missed their childhood milestones. She missed things. She missed things. Watching them ride bikes, running, playing, learning things for the first time. Here's a woman that missed all this shit. Come on, let's be real.
You know, I mean, even Shar. I share a relationship with Shar, and she shares that relationship with our kids. I want that for Britney.
Yeah, well, there's nothing you took from Shar Jackson, right? I mean, you support Shar Jackson with Britney's money.
This isn't about bringing her down. This is about telling the truth and trying to build her back up.
That doesn't make any sense to me. That makes absolutely no sense to me.
And you said that both your sons have stopped seeing her now because of what they witnessed when they saw her. What kind of thing did they see that has really freaked them out?
I mean, look, I don't want to get into the details of, you know, her privacy. Obviously, I've said so much in my book that, you know, adding to that is not.
Yeah, but look, to be honest.
In other words, what he's saying is go read the book, buy the book. Everything's in the book. See what's in the book. Read the book. Check out the book. That's what I think he's saying. And it's he's probably the one that reads the book in the audio format, right?
With you, that's where, okay, come on, Kevin. It's like you've written a whole book invading her privacy. So that ship has sailed.
Good for you there. Good for you there.
It's just a question of scale.
I mean,
I do think it's pertinent to her current situation, why your sons don't want to be around her. And I think it's not unreasonable that you've explained that to me without saying the kind of thing you're talking about.
There you go. Give me my money's worth, Piers Morgan is saying.
Right, but that's not my story to tell. That's my son's story to tell if they decide to. I mean, the things that they've seen are shocking, right? So shocking that one of my sons came to me and called me and was like, I don't know what to do. I'm afraid mom is going to die. Does that help?
Yeah, and is this to do with substance abuse, or what are we talking about?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You talk in the book about her doing cocaine while she was.
Okay, so he brought it up. There you go. There you go. Substance abuse.
Still nursing your boys when they were very young. Is it that kind of substance we're talking about?
I mean, it is that, all of it. So much more.
A variety of different drugs.
Yes.
It's a desperately sad situation. Again, critics of you, Kevin, have said that you've just done this for money. So let me just deal with that. How much are you being paid for this book?
Look, if this was about money, I would have cashed in years ago when I was being offered 7 figures to sit down with people like yourself and tell my story. You know, I would have cashed in when the story was at its height.
Okay, so guys, let's stop. Okay, so I'm going back to you guys because I'm going to call bullshit. Here's why I'm going to call bullshit. He could have gotten 7 figures. Let's say he could have got $2 million. Oh, what the fuck? Let's say he could have got $7 million. How many years ago was that? How many years ago was that? One of those kids, his youngest child is 19. So I don't know, about 20 years ago that was, right? I think he's made over $1 million a year. So let me ask you a question. What was in his best interest if he really wanted to make money? and now he's got the book. Okay. So now let's just say on a conservative, we're going to be very conservative here. He made $20 million and now he's got a book deal. Yeah, I think he did well. I think his plan worked out well. What do you guys think? All this man is doing is teaching his boys how to exploit women. Yeah, I believe that. He could not write a book 7 years ago or even at the height of when it was all. He couldn't write a book now either. I guarantee you somebody write this book for him. T.A. Swifty fan. Because it usually takes losing someone or them passing sometimes for people to actually listen to abuse. And But can Britney just live her life? She can, but you know, I think she does have a problem. I think that's pretty clear. And I think that I love it, wanker. The truth of the matter is, if somebody should step in and do something for her, because when I think that the next step is that she's probably going to unalive herself. And I don't think this book is any help. I mean, I think she feels pretty fucking alone in this world, to be honest with you. I don't think that her family speaks to her or she doesn't speak to her family. And I think it's horribly sad and everything. I really, really do. I really do. She doesn't have the right people around her, but I don't think that's magically going to come. But not just that. Seriously, not just that. I think it's the money. He did a lot better financially the way he's doing it now. So I'm afraid of that too. But I mean, I don't think writing the book was the thing. I really don't think writing the book was the answer. I wouldn't be surprised. How many of you guys would really be surprised if you found out that happened, where she wasn't with us anymore? I wouldn't be surprised. Those videos. Oh no. Nope. Absolutely horrible. Horrible. All right, let's see what else we got going on here.
If this was about money, I would have taken Britney to court and demanded $100,000 a month in child support, especially when I knew she was making $50 million a year or whatever. This is not about money. And the one thing that I've learned through all of this is the most important thing to me is my family, the love I have for my kids, my wife now, and everybody that's involved in this situation. Because money cannot touch that. Material things have no meaning to me.
Well, then why don't you donate the money from your book to people that are struggling with addiction and stuff, if money doesn't matter to you and if you're doing fine and everything?
Anymore in my life.
When you got divorced, the court awarded you $20,000 a month in child support and alimony of another $20,000 a month for half the duration of your marriage. And you make the point in the book, people hear figures like that, they think you're financially set. Just maintaining a home and lifestyle that matched what the boys were used to with their mother easily ran to that amount a month. Rent, security, full-time nanny, transportation, all the other day-to-day needs of raising 2 kids in LA, as well as my 2 kids, added up fast. That money was gone almost as soon as it came in. Do you receive any money from Britney now?
No, I haven't received any money from Britney for a year at least.
A year.
For how long, sorry?
For a year at least.
So it stopped a year ago.
Yes.
Does she have
Yes.
much money now, do you think, or not? Today's show is sponsored by Oxford Natural, makers of the Optimum Day and Optimum Night all-natural supplements. Thousands of Brits and
No
Americans are already
way,
taking them with
sir.
incredible results. Optimum Day with the code PEERS.
I mean, I'm not going to dive into her finances, but who knows? I have no idea.
I mean, she has no ongoing income from touring or new.
So he just said about a year ago. So I call it about 6 months ago. Let's just say about 6 months ago, because that's what it looked like when he said a year ago, right? I kind of heard 6 months. So that's why he's writing his book, and he got an advance on the book, and now the book's finished. He's been getting money off of her ever since. So he's been getting what, $60,000 a month in child support. You do the math. He's made over $1 million a year for 20 years, right? Come on. Come on. Are you talking to me, T.A. Swifty? I do give 10% of my income from my pages of my channels to everybody. I mean, not to everybody, but you can go look if you're asking me. I think he said, I think it was 20 for him and 20 for the kids. So I think it was 60 total each month. But I do give 10% at least of my money away. I do. And that's why I think he wrote the book. That's right. I agree. Okay, let's check it out.
Material or whatever, but I guess she still gets paid a lot for records she's made in the past.
Residuals, royalty.
I mean,
Yep.
you would think so, but like I said, I don't know. I mean, that could be a dire situation as well.
You don't know.
What do you think, Kevin, is really at the heart of this? Was Britney always prone to mental health issues fueled then by drug abuse, or was she basically corrupted by fame and fortune? I mean, you see the slippery path a lot with people, especially when they're young and they become big stars. They turn to drugs, they turn to alcohol, they turn to all sorts of stuff, and it can end up killing them. It can. I always think fame is one of the most lethal drugs of all. But do you think it's that was the catalyst, or were there demons there long before she became famous?
I don't know. You know, I think honestly that it could be a little bit of both. And I agree with you 100%. I even talk about it in my book. I think that fame is the most powerful drug in the world. And it's a very dangerous place to be. I mean,
See how he keeps plugging his book there? He keeps plugging that book away right there. Look, he keeps plugging his book. And fame, and he wanted fame, but fame didn't want him. They didn't find him personable. They didn't like him.
I've lived through some of that myself. And,
That was infamy, dumbass.
you know, it's really, really tough. But I couldn't honestly tell you for sure, because when we were first together, you know, things were so great, you know, and
Because she spent all of her money on you when you were running around. And then celebrityism. You were Mr. Britney Spears. And when it took time for Kevin to become K-Fed, he was not good enough. He wasn't good enough. And he left his kids. Remember, he left his 2 kids. Britney was going through shit, but he left the kids and left her and was in Vegas and was gambling. Remember that, guys? And doing stage shows and being on the radio. His broken wife with his 2 young kids. And then Char at home with her baby. Come on. And then their oldest. Come on, Kevin. You would be sitting there telling a whole other story, whole other situation, whole other circumstance if Hollywood liked you. That's the truth.
I talk about a lot of this in my book about
Plug in the book again.
how incredible it was until it wasn't. And I mean, it's really hard to say if things were there before, right? I think that that's a big possibility, but I also think that the situation that she's in and with how famous that she was at such a young age, I mean, it definitely played a part. I think everything has played a part in this.
She also said on Instagram at the weekend that she may have a lot more to reveal. She said, trust me, there's a lot I didn't share in my book, and still things at this very moment I've kept hidden because it's incredibly painful and sad. I do feel the logic and mindfulness in my body as one was 100% murdered and destroyed. I couldn't dance or move for 5 months. I do feel like my wings were taken away and brain damage happened to me a long time ago, 100%. I have, of course.
You know what? That seems pretty, that's Britney speaking there. And I can imagine that that's the way she felt, where the only freedom she had was on stage, and even each move was choreographed for her.
Moved on from that troubling time in my life, and I'm blessed to be alive. Yeah, what did you make of that when you saw it?
I mean, look, I feel that everybody has the right to tell their truth, right? But I would just make sure that it's the truth.
And yours is the truth. I just told you my version of your truth, and it's true. We saw that. Answer those questions, sir.
That's what I would say.
Do you think she should be back in the conservatorship? Do you think she needs to be back in the conservatorship? Do you think the Free Britney campaign ended up having the complete opposite effect?
I do think that the campaign had the opposite effect, but I also think that,
of course, because that's how long has it been since the money? A couple of years. Well, the Britney thing was at least a couple of years. And you still think the way you've been treating it for the past 20 years has worked out well, huh, Kevin? The same way?
If you really look at it, like, they want her at her best, right? And I think that's something that all of us can agree on. Like, we all want her at her best, you know? And I just hope that somehow, some way it gets there. I don't have the answers. I don't know if a conservatorship is the right thing. I don't know what the answers are. I don't. I mean, that's another reason why I've gone so public
But we'll write a book, because I know that this ain't going to hurt her. This ain't going to hurt her at all.
with this. Is, you know, we're searching for answers and we're searching for support. My sons, they, you know, I mean, that's really at the end of the day of what this whole thing is. Yeah, I've done everything for my kids. I've done everything for my family. And this is a part of that. Like, what type of father am I to not try and reach out and help? And I understand.
I hope that his children see the manipulation that he is causing. So if his children go under anything like this, he can just write a book. And why don't you talk about your kids your kids fuck ups? They had some fucked up situations. Why don't we talk about them?
That a lot of people think that this is only going to hurt. There's no other way. You have to trust me in that, because
why? You haven't spoken to her in 5 years. You don't know who she is. How do you know which way? I mean, who wants to take on that responsibility? Because if she does unalive herself because of this book, good luck with your children. Good luck with your sons.
we tried everything. We tried to do it privately. We tried to help her in every which way we possibly can, and everybody's been shut out. So what do you do?
Have your boys read the book?
My boys know everything that's in this book. Yes.
And they support you with all of it?
100%.
If Britney happens to see this interview, Kevin, what would your message to her be?
My message to Britney is, know that you are loved. There's so many people around that care about you. And please, please try to find your way back to the people that actually love you.
I ain't buying it with him.
Kevin Federline, I appreciate you coming on Uncensored. Thank you very much.
Okay, so that's Kevin Federline's little story there, guys. What are you guys thinking? What are you guys thinking? Yeah, he talked about how Britney did it, right? A douche canoe. God, haven't heard that in forever. Can you imagine the entitlement of coming on TV in a baseball cap and t-shirt, tearing down the mother of a child because you have been unable? That's the first thing I said. He dressed for the occasion. He tried to be Brad, Malibu's most wanted, except I think Brad might have been more talented. Yes, please answer, sir. He wouldn't have had those kids. If it went that way, he wouldn't have needed them. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That wasn't fame. That was people laughing at you because you were riding on her coattails, right? Wasn't there enough reason to keep his boys away from her? Well, you're such a conspiracist. It depends on what story you want to hear. I mean, here's the argument, Red. Because there's a few Reds. I want to get the name right. Redlicious. Ridiculous? It's Ridiculous. I'm sorry. Ridiculous, South Carolina, right? Here's the argument. The argument is Britney was trained and there was a lot of energy and everything to go into a residencyship in Las Vegas, a residence in Las Vegas, right? Where she performed every night for how many years? With the money that she had already made, why wasn't that kind of diligence? Why wasn't that consistency? Why wasn't that not obligation, motivation, determination to get her in therapy with her children so that she could be a good mom? That's the why was she trained to get up on stage and dance for her residencyship and it not be somebody's priority to get her on to somebody's couch with her kids to save their relationship and allow her the chance to be a mom. If she needed help, why didn't they get her help instead of put her on stage? You know what it takes to get on stage every single night in Las Vegas? Shit. If she had the ability to do that, why didn't they take that and put it into therapy for her so that she could be a mom to her children? That's what the argument is. Britney is Marilyn Monroe's cousin. She is getting the same exploitations through sensationalism, sexism, and tragedy. Sad how cycles repeat. Yes, and serious Gypsy Rose. 2 peas in a pod. Britney was also getting pumped with drugs by the industry to perform. No one talks about that. I believe that she probably was. I wouldn't want my kids around her in the way she is. Well, that's the way she is now. But, you know, I mean, what about the way she was and how that happened? That just is supposed to be forgotten about? I believe she got how she is now because of what happened back then. And these people are walking around like they didn't commit a crime. She lost her children. That didn't have to happen. But they wanted her on stage. That's criminal, in my opinion. She lost her kids, the ability to mother her children. Malibu's Most Wanted? No, I've never seen that. Exactly. He doesn't, exactly. He hasn't, and he only stopped getting paid about a year ago, which we'll say about 6 months ago, because that's what I believe it was. And that's just my estimation, my guess, because of the way he said it. And you know that he got money because of the book, so he got an advance, and now he's getting paid for the book. And he didn't want to do this all those years ago because he didn't want what? He said, if I did it for money all those years ago, why didn't I do it then? Well, because look at what you made out with now. And now you're doing the book. So look, see? It is. I totally believe that. I'm not saying that the woman didn't need help. You know, she was very young with the Mickey Mouse thing or the Disney thing. A lot of shit happened in that behind the scenes in the Disney thing. Now that we know that, a lot of shit happened. So, you know, she can find her way back to. I don't know, man. I think she needs. I don't know. I don't know what she needs. I don't think she needs to be alone with her kids, especially if they don't want to be alone with her. But she needs some healing time for her. I mean, now the kids have something to say about it. So, you know, it might be too late for her with her kids. Yeah, well, yeah, but you know, it's unfortunate because I think her people were her family. And I think Justin, I don't think Kevin helped in that situation. He's lived off of her and for 20 years. He's lived off of her. $60,000 a month for 20 years. Come on. Yeah, absolutely. It is absolutely horrible. Exactly. But if the kids don't want to see her, they're not going to be forced to see her. But I think every kid wants their mom, right? So if they saw that she was working in the right direction, I think she would be able to get them back, you know, at least to spend time with. It's very sad. All right, guys. Well, I don't have much more to say. And I'm glad that we did that because I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm hoping Rebecca feels better and we're at this next week. Kind of glad that we touched on the Britney thing. I did want to talk about it, so I'm kind of glad that we did do that. Yeah, it's just incredibly sad, right? When I say it's too late, I mean to mother your children as far as like those milestones, their first dates, their firsts, I certainly hope that she gets something back with them. Hopefully they'll get married, have children if that's what they're going to do, and she won't miss out on everything. And Jamie, who lost power. So thank you guys for your patience with me. And that's it, guys. Man, I'm getting hot in here now. Getting hot in here now. All right, guys. Sure, we can do this. We'll do this probably not on Mondays though, because Monday is mine and Rebecca's day, but I want to go ahead and we can do this stuff. Yeah, I was going to talk about Britney, so you know what? Now we just did it. All right, guys, take care. All right, and I'll see you on the next one. I might have a Whitaker's video. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. All right, guys, be good, okay? I'm sorry about that F-free lie. Excuse me. Take care, guys. Thank you. Thank you.